Every few minutes, women carry on their backs firewood. Cows return from the grazing in the forest. Eating the little planted trees, only part of the indigenous forest has been fenced off by community-based organizations.
Because in order to make the conservation a reality, it actually requires, primarily, leadership. Without leadership, nothing will change. Nothing will happen. The corrupt MPs will be allowed to, cut a swath of mature indigenous trees for a water project.
Indigenous kulikuwa mitarako kubwa, miti kubwa kubwa, hata ilikuwa nashinda hizi miti. Ilikuwa naenda 200 karibu 50 meters miti moja ilikuwa naenda juu sana urefu. Ilikuwa diameter yake ni futi 8 kisunguka, hata bado iko kisiki yake.
Mzee Ezekiel Rotich has witnessed these changes in the forest and the rivers. He was born in Kiplagat as a child, experiencing the true sense of Kiplagat forest.
Kwa tofauti kubwa, tuliingia hapa mwaka wa 60 na baba alitangulia kushika shamba 64, tukakuja hapa 65 tukiwa wachanga. 66 mpaka 68 hapa ilikuwa baridi. Ikabadilika, msituni namalizwa. Na wale walimaliza ni KFS kwa sababu walifungulia mashamba kupanda hii miti ya biashara. Indigenous kulikuwa mitarako kubwa, miti kubwa, hata ilikuwa nashinda hizi miti.
The villagers here take some responsibility of the state of the river levels. They know what they did wrong on their part.
Tumepanda maneno ya miti ya indigenous sehemu, lakini ng'ombe yetu nafanya nini? Namaliza. Tutangulia tangu 11 miti kaisha, 12 miti kaisha, hata juzi tulipanda jua na maliza. Sasa kwa hivyo sisi tunataka tufikirie sawa kwa sababu nilikuwa nasema kama ng'ombe itakuweko zaidi karibu mtoni, hatutapanda miti itakuwa. Lazima tukishafanya kupanda indigenous na kuwa serious, basi tufanye na tufunge sawa. Tupee nafasi mahali ng'ombe itakunywa maji peke yake kama iko ng'ombe, lakini mpande wa mtoni zote tufunge. Hiyo ndio itakuwa vizuri kwa sababu tunajidanganya na kila mwaka maji narudi chini. Sasa mwaka hii na mwaka iliyopita maji imerudi chini. Hata ukiangalia saa hii si ni mwezi wa 10 kuna maji.
And people are moving towards irrigation, which means we're also destroying the swampy areas because people are taking out the swampy areas for cultivation, and that damages the environment and the potential for water. It also means that people will look for alternative activities for income. So people will move away from agriculture to maybe firewood, selling of firewood, lumber, logging, and all these kind of activities that eventually lead to destruction of the forest.
The firewood taken by the women from the forest and the agricultural activities along the dams and rivers contributing greatly to the environmental degradation. The community-based organizations and community forest societies playing a big role in involving the community here to be part of the conservation. A change of mindset here of a people understanding the importance of a vital resource.
Hii maji nataka fungwa 500 meters kutoka center ya maji mpaka juu, both sides. Iende pande hii na pande hii 500 meters mpaka Mako. Na ielekee mpaka karibu Peno 500 meters wachunge hivyo. Alafu stream zile ndogo ile na saidia hii kubwa naye saidiwe kama 200 meters ndio iwe sawa na ipandwe sawa na ifungwe na waya. Maneno ya kusema tunapanda na ng'ombe yetu inaingia huko hakuna.
The problem of conservation and the problem of logging and felling of trees is not just a problem of today. It also means that the children of tomorrow will not enjoy the resource that exists. I was born here, and one of the things I enjoyed the most is taking walks in the forest. We want the children of tomorrow to also enjoy walking in the forests, and not just tomorrow. We want also the people of this area to benefit from tourism. It means we can build eco-lodges around the forest. It means that we can have our athletes train in the forest, and in the process create business for the community, either through provision of hotel services, and the lodges, as I've said, or even other things, you know, because if you have more people coming into the forest, into this area, because of tourism or because of athletics, then there is room to do business.
Paula has a dream she hopes she'll live to see. One that will open the doors to a generation that conserves its environment, not only because they need it, but because they understand fully the importance of environment conservation. This tree nursery of indigenous trees within the forest is part of that dream, one that takes a lot of patience.
And it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road that we'll be able to know whether we were successful. The problem is that if we don't do something now, in 5, 10, 20 years, we will clearly be able to see our failure.
Well, it's a debate that is going on in the world as to whether a third world country should consider the climate more important than development. But I think both should go together. Because if you destroy the environment that you have today, you actually create more risk in the future. And in any case, we do this not just for ourselves, but we do this for the generations to come.
Paula visits the tree nursery with satisfaction. If all goes well, the trees will someday fill the forest. And despite the challenges, Paula remains committed. She has to. Someone has to, she says.
I really hope the leadership of this country can come together and really put politics aside, you know, put our pockets aside if that's the issue, and like figure out what are we going to do to bring positive change to this area.
Recently, a group called Conserve Kiplagat Forest was created, bringing together stakeholders with one goal, conserving the forest that not only plays a key role in the community in water cycle, but the preservation of the ecosystem.
When I got a WhatsApp message from a certain Mr. Chepsoy, from Eldowas, who said, we need to do something. We need to do something. And to have that kind of leadership, bringing people together, bringing the right people together,
Trees. And another person may decide, because you're planting trees, I'll fence to make sure that we keep the livestock outside the forest. The county government and the police force and KFS for that matter could decide, because of their expertise, they can actually lobby other bodies to make sure that we are getting funding to reforest Kiplagat.
It's the first step of protecting Kiplagat forest that will protect the rivers and much more.
To avoid the conflict that we are having with the community as of now, we want to make sure that upstream we are conserving the rivers so that everybody is able to get the water. And in any case, the articles and memorandum of association for Eldowas now defines its responsibility as cutting across the entire county jurisdiction of the county government of Uasin Gishu. So we have no choice. We have to make sure that everybody within the county government of Uasin Gishu is getting water. Because looking into the future, it will not be possible to explain to somebody in the rural area why a pipeline should cut through their own land to deliver water to the town, and they have no water themselves. So there's potential for conflict unless we conserve the sources of water.
The plan is to save the forest and the rivers, Water is precious, such a basic need. One journey that started here at Kiplagat that will hopefully reach its target. After all, the younger generations and the generations to come need it. What will take sacrifice and energy to achieve it. This dam right here is one of the about 300 dams within Uasin Gishu County whose water levels is drastically reducing, with a population here that is growing as fast. Experts warn that if nothing is not done soon enough, then in the next few years residents here will not have water. Masi Kandiye, KTN News, Eco Journal.